Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is part 3 of the MAXXFORCE repair series. We're going to finish tearing apart the cylinder head and pulling the cylinder head off, and hope you'll join us and learn something along with me. Here's what it looks like underneath the valve cover. So of course you got your rocker shaft right over here. And of course this is a 24 valve engine, so if we look down here you can see there's a bar underneath each rocker shaft going over to 2 valves. So each rocker shaft pushes down on 2 valves. This is your valve cover gasket. Notice it has these plugs on it. These plugs run everything from injectors and all kinds of goodies. There's a high pressure oil sensor down here somewhere. Down there somewhere. And all that's run through those, and all those wires go actually in through the valve cover and up here. The valve cover gasket is pretty expensive, so we're hoping to reuse it. Feels like it's still pliable, so that's good. And we'll start by disconnecting all these, getting that valve cover gasket off of here, and then we'll start undoing this high pressure rail that's under here. And once we finish that, we'll pull the rocker shaft and then pop the injectors out, and then start on, I think there's 26 head bolts on this thing. That'll be a little time consuming, but we'll do that last, and then lift the head off. So we got the oil rail off. It's a pretty messy job. It takes a lot of prying and getting it to come up. It has to pull up straight in order to be removed, so it's a little difficult, but it's all right. We got it out. Now we got to take this rocker rail out. Before we start taking these screws out, I want to break all these loose and loosen them, because when it goes back on, it'll make it easier to set all the valves when we do that. So we'll loosen all those up, take all these out, remove the rocker rail, and when we do, we have to make sure that each of these little rocker bridges stays in order. The manual actually suggests cleaning off a spot and writing in a Sharpie, and we may do that. So I've removed the rocker shaft and the little bridges, kept them all in order, laid them out. Now we got to take out the injectors. There's a Torx bit, and it is a T40 right here, and one on each one. And as you take it out, it will not only take the pressure off the injector, but it'll actually draw it out, so that makes it kind of easy. I've done that to all the injectors. Now they should lift right out of there. We're going to keep those all in order because I'm going to reuse them, and then we're going to pull all of these push rods. We'll put those on a piece of cardboard and mark it so we keep them all in the same order. That way it goes back together the same. So we got the cylinders exposed here, and I mean there is a ridge, but it's not horrible. How much of that ridge is the soot? Interesting. Well, we'll roll this thing over and look at it some more, see what else we can figure out. Got the head pulled off. It was getting kind of late. The sun was going down. Couldn't really do any more filming because it was just too dark. I did get the head off, and the next morning I rushed it over to the machine shop. So the next thing we got to do, we have to take the oil pan off, which consists of a whole lot of 10mm bolts all along all 4 sides. So we'll get those taken off, Probably drop that oil filter off of there and see what we're looking at. Every time I've done this before, there's plenty of room between the axle and all the cross members to get the oil pan out. Not in this case. I actually had to jack up the truck frame a little bit to get just enough clearance to get the oil pan out. Alright, so based on those initials right there and some silicone at the front, I'm thinking somebody's been in here before. And after what we've seen up top, I'm kind of thinking the same. Anyways, we've got all our parts for our in-frame. I'm going to start popping these pistons out of here. Get this oil pump suction tube off. Oh, what is that? It's a piece of zip tie. I guess there's a zip tie in the engine. Okay. Alright, well, let's get some of this apart. Alright, well, there's number one rod cap. I take this dowel, cut it to 2 feet long. I'll pop it off the crankshaft. Oop, there, incoming rod bearing. These bearings are not terrible, but they are worn. Alright, there's the bearing off the, there's the bearing off of the connecting rod. Well, things are going a little more difficult than I expected. Still trying to pop out cylinder number 2, or piston number 2, and what I'm running into is the ridge of the top. Even though it's mostly just carbon, the top ring, excuse me, the second ring is so carboned up it's stuck on the piston, and I can't get it past the ridge at the top. So I've actually broken a couple dowels already trying to pound it out from the bottom, so I'm going to sand the carbon ridge off the next few before I pop them out. But this one's not being easy. Well, I finally got piston number 2 out, but not the way I was hoping. It actually, I started pulling from the top, and I popped the entire liner out. But it's out. I'll have to get it to come apart and get the connecting rod out of it later. But here's an assessment what we got so far. This is piston number 1. Top ring is free. Oil ring is free. But look at this second compression ring. Like, that thing is solid in there. All carboned in there. And that kind of explains some of the compression issues we were having. But anyways, everything's looking okay so far. I've sanded down the next few ridges on the cylinders, so hopefully they'll come out a little easier. Yes. Oof. goodness. Now that I got all the pistons out, we have to pop the liners out. Of course, number 2 came out with the piston, but we need to get the other 5 out. I don't have a liner puller, and which isn't a big deal. We can pound them out from underneath with a wood dowel. However, we're probably going to take a bath in coolant, especially when we do number 6 back there. So I'm not looking forward to that. The pistons all did come out. Some of them didn't give up without a fight, but they're all out. Actually look to be in fairly decent condition, other than they are packed full of carbon, every last one of them. Packed full of soot and nasty. Another look from underneath. We got all the connecting rods out and pistons. Let's see up the hole there. But now we have to pound out the liner. And if we can just catch it on the edge right here, we should be able to pop it out. We don't have to move it too far and it should release. However, this rear one probably is going to have some coolant behind it. Thanks for coming along on part 3 of the MAXXFORCE DT repair. I hope you learned something along with me, and I appreciate you joining along. Stay tuned for part 4, which will be coming up in a week or 2. Thanks for watching.